What's good, YouTube? Your girl Leela here. And I just want to say, look how long my hair has gotten. For those of you that don't know, all right, I shaved my fucking head. Um, Call it a Britney Spears 2007 meltdown period, whatever you want. But let me tell you something, your bitch went bald. I mean, buzz cut. I mean, so for me to have this hair, it's like I'm starting to appreciate myself again. You know what I mean? Like for a while there, I was in a really bad negative place, and I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still got 50 chins. I still got to worry about that. But I mean, a little bit of diet and exercise and maybe some ketos, that would probably help. I don't know. Me and my sister was talking last night, and she's about to get married this coming July 4th, actually. And we were just talking, and she was all like that she wants to lose some weight. And of course, I want to lose a little bit of weight too, because I've always averaged about 180. So for me to be 250 is like breaking point for me. So I'm definitely going to start working out because everybody want to look kind of cute in their little dress, especially when there's going to be a professional photographer there and things like that. And I'm looking forward to life again. Although I don't have the kids. I don't know what's going on with the kids. I don't even know if there's a possibility to even see the kids until they're 18. I don't know. I don't know what this world has to hold for me. I'm just taking the punches as they come, and I keep on getting back up. I do my 8 count and I get up every single time. Um, it sucks because you never picture a reality without your family. You never, if you would have hit me up 8 years ago, I would have never predicted that my brother would have died. I never would have predicted that I would have had 7 kids. I never would have predicted any of this. And although life is a lesson, it can be a blessing too. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your perspective of the situation. It depends on if you see the cup half empty or half full. It's all perspective, like, I don't know. I could sit here and, I mean, I've been eating myself crazy. I've gained 60 pounds since the kids have been gone. So, I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm ODing on fast food. I'm ODing on McDonald's. I'm at borderline heart attack because there was nothing to do. Like, I felt emptiness. I felt empty and hungry, and I gotta dust myself off and I gotta do the damn thing because I want to be healthy and productive in the future. And, I can't keep on driving myself crazy. I can't keep on doing these things that are going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Because the only one that's hurting is myself. And it's going to be the kids in the long run because let's be real, we don't want to see our mother fucked up. Nobody wants to see their mom that way. And I have 7 sons. 7. So I might be lonely right now and I might be driving myself just a teeny bit crazy, but I I have a future. Like, I got 7 sons. So you know what that means? I might have 7 daughter-in-laws, I mean, that's already 14 people that I'm going to spend my life with. On top of my grandkids, on top of their friends. Like, that's what just sucks. Because, I mean, we were the neighborhood house. all the kids come to my house. I mean, I had 2 fucking playgrounds in my backyard. That's what I miss. I thought my youth would be playing kickball and watching my sons become men, you know. It's funny what we think for ourselves and what our parents think we should be doing, and then there's God. Someone that knows everything, knows what our heart wants before we do. And we're just playing our part. A lot of people, their life consists of going to work and going home and taking care of a family. It's American dream. But what happens when your life ain't like that? My life has never been ordinary. Why did I think that me being an adult would change? My life has never been ordinary. It's never. And I guess in a way I'm grateful, you know? Like when I was younger, I missed my mom a lot because everybody had their parents, you know? And I was like the only one that didn't. And I think what it is that we spend so much time bitching about the things that we don't have. We don't really get to enjoy the quality of life and, you know, the pleasure of a laugh to the full extent. I've been shown some shitty shit in this life, but I've met some extraordinary people along the way. And that's the truth. Some of the people that I've lost and loved were out of this world. And it hurts. But you know that's why God picked them, because they were out of this world. Think about my brother and my mom a lot, you know, and my dad too. You know, you start thinking about, well, I wonder what life would have been like. And then you think about all the people you wouldn't have met. Like, I wouldn't have met my foster mom or Stephanie or anybody, you know. It would have just been, I need to brush my hair, but I just wanted to show y'all. But, you know, not everybody's bad, you know. And it's crazy because even the good ones, ain't always good, you know. Like, I'm a good person, but if you looked at these YouTube videos, you would think that I was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? But what would you do? You just gotta thank God every day and just roll with the punches. You gotta think that you're just one step closer to getting all of your prayers answered. But you gotta stay here for it, you know. I emphasize that a lot because, I mean, suicide was on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like an everyday thing, you know, just thinking about how I'm going to go out, what I'm going to say, what am I going to write to the kids. And then it got me questioning it, like, you know, when I found out my dad committed suicide, I was 15. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like a normal day. I just got out of school. I came into Miss Horrell's house. The social worker was already there. And, you know, me being 15, I wanted to go out and fuck around. And I did not want another fucking interview with the social worker, to be clear. So I'm like, okay, all right, the social worker's here. And then it was at that moment when I saw Miss Horrell's face, and she had her pack of cigarettes and stuff in her hand. And I knew it was about to be a conversation. When you saw messing around with her cigarettes and the social worker, because let me tell you something, my foster mom, she wanted them social workers in and out. She wanted them gone, because they put stress on us, on all the girls. But anyways, so we're in the fucking kitchen, and social worker says to me, she has a piece of paper in her hand as well, and the social worker says to me, Layla, we found your dad. And I'm like, my dad? Like, for 2 seconds, for those 2 seconds of just hearing, we found your dad, I was like, oh shit, like, I'm about to go with my dad. Like, why the fuck would he keep me in this foster home? You know what I mean? And then her next statement was, I have his death certificate. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, I really don't know the details. I just know that it was a self-inflicted wound. And that was hard to take at 15. I mean, you got to think, I got put in foster care, at 13. And so that I'm finding this out at 15. So I spent 2 years of my life searching for my dad, And he died. You want to hear something fucked up? The last day I saw my kids was January 10th. My dad committed suicide February 10th. My birthday's December 10th. You just start thinking about shit like that. And you just think like, wow. It makes you wonder like, what was so bad in his life that he felt the need to commit suicide? And it got me thinking about my kids. Why the fuck would I do that to them? My father must have been in a world of hurt, despair. He killed himself, and they came days later. And it's crazy because, I just went to my father's grave in August, first time, And my cousin is telling me that he sent his brother an audio tape, and that the police got that. And it sucks to feel that pain. To feel like you have no outlet. No love, no nothing. Like, your only option is death. If you're lucky, then you've never had those thoughts. But for most of us, white America, we have those thoughts a lot. Because in our head, we're like a trapped dog. We're kenneled. No one lets us out. You know what happens when you trap a dog? They haven't ate in days. Their beast mode kicks in because we're animals. That's what we are. And no matter how godlike I want to be, I'm only human. I'm not an angel. I'm not a spirit. I'm just Layla trying to fucking live this life. And most of the time, with suicide, they feel like they have no option. But we do. We have an option to stay out here and complete God's plan. Too bad my dad didn't. Then he would have got to meet me and his grandchildren. Maybe things would have been different. Maybe they would have ended up the same. I don't know. But it would be nice if people just want to feel wanted and needed and loved. Animals too. So when you take a person or an animal out of their element and they're trying to adapt, and in their head they're like, I can't adapt. Not so much for animals, more for people, because animals seem to adapt to their surroundings, to their situations most of the time. Most humans do too, but it depends on your capacity. Like, I've been thinking about my brother a lot, you know, and I've been thinking about my kids. My brother was a male, and he was a product of the system, even up until he died. Like, do you know, like, what I mean by that is he was put in foster care because of behavior issues, right? That's what they claimed. Be real with you, he was huffing gas. He was getting high to escape, 12 years old. And it's because we were moved around so much. Like, it didn't bother me so much because my brain is different than what his is. You know, he needed a mom. He needed a woman to tell him that he was good enough. You know, he needed someone to tell him that he was worth it. Tell him he was a good little boy. Tell him it's okay. You know, me on the other hand, good old me. I always got the shitty end of the stick. I'll be real with you. Like, my aunt was like, oh, god damn, it was your father's fault that your mother's dead. I hate you, you ungrateful bitch. Just like 5 years old. I'm like 5 years old. Motherfuckers are telling me this. You know. You hear whore, whore, whore. They failed to mention to tell you that I started getting molested after my grandmother's funeral at 5 years old. And after my brother done went to prison. So there was no one there to protect me. But my 7-year-old brother, he got raped too. And I think that's what fucked his head up. Be honest with you. You want me to be real? I'm gonna be real. Because I ain't got no reason to lie to anybody. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. Boys are different than girls. I handled the rape. I handled getting placed in different homes. I handled not getting hugs, not getting I love you, not getting the shit that I gave my kids. It's probably why I had so many. I used to say back in the day that God gave me back my loved ones with a child. My little angels. You know. It's funny how we got cute little sayings from making ourselves feel better, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But back to my brother's situation, you know. He needed someone to nurture him. He needed someone to love him. And when I look and I think about him and how his life ended so shortly, I don't need that for my boys. I don't, because I love them guys, man. I would do anything for them guys. And it's crazy, you know? My brother's life was short-lived. And it's because we were just another fucking number. We were just another social security number to get a check from the state. You think that my social worker, Tashikio Bradshaw, helped Bryant Wyford when he needed it the most? I'll be real. My brother graduated homeless. He was homeless and graduated. an achievement. It's like, I always looked up to my brothers, yo. I always did, man, because they're my big brothers. You think that they're the shit, you know? I did, at least. Well, anyways, getting back to Brian. I think about him and I think about the kids because he didn't have a break in his personality until he was 17. You know? So that adolescent mind kept him okay for a while. But why wasn't any services signed up for my brother? My brother was fucking schizophrenic at 16. Like, I mean 17. Y'all keep on saying, oh, one's schizophrenic, he's a bad guy. There's fucking levels to this shit. Like, it's just like, there's levels to everything. And my brother, because of his situation, of his circumstances, of his living situation, it got to him. I mean, how would you feel if you had to save your sister over and over from getting raped, and then you started getting raped? Where was our justice? Where was a detective to help us? Where was social services? They just swept us under the rug. Why? Brian's dad died in the Philippines. Fucking our mom, she was already dead. So who's gonna care for these children? You know, who's gonna really give a fuck at the end of the day? I care. I give a fuck. The system is designed to keep you down. And that's the truth. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Social services could have helped my brother so many times and chose not to. Social services could have helped me as a child, and so many times they chose not to. Sometimes it's the way you talk, and I'll be real. A lot of y'all, you know, we want to talk nice to our kids because we love our kids. They're the apple of our fucking eye. But some people don't give you a clue of what the real world is. And the real world don't give a fuck about you. Your mama do. The real world, the police out here that is fucking scraping our youth up off the ground, they don't give a fuck about us. They don't. And the only time people like to come forward or step up is once they felt it. Which is true. How many times we know somebody that, you know, this couldn't happen to me. What happens when it does? What happens when you raise your child to the best of your ability and they're a rapist? Somebody's son is raping these girls. What happens when your young son or young daughter kills somebody? They all started out as kids. All these addicts we see on the street that are zombified, they're somebody's loved ones. Might be mine. I wanted to change the cycle, to change my brother, to change my family's history. You know, breaking the cycle. History had a funny way of replaying itself. I didn't have to be dead or a junkie this time for my children to be in foster care, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why. You cannot fucking sit here and tell me a legitimate explanation to why these things have happened. Why did my brother get shot? Because he's holding a baseball bat. So you're telling me, because, okay, he vandalized some cars. Even fucking better. Did he hit anybody? No. So you're telling me My brother's dead for simple restitution, simple insurance information. He was sick. So let me guess, let's kill off all the sick people because they don't have the right to have kids or, live a normal life. Why? Because you say so? I'm sure their family members will feel different. I'm sure of it. Oh, God, I know I'm rambling today, but it all makes sense if you really think about it. The system could have helped my brother while he was in care. They could have helped me while I was in care. And they opted not to. They opted not to. Can you imagine how hard it was for my brother trying to graduate high school? No parents, nobody on his side. He walked to my house one day from Buckrow Beach to Newport News. It's about a 25-30 minute car ride. I can only imagine that it took him hours to get there. I made him something to eat. I let him take a shower. Miss Harrell wouldn't let him spend the night. He had nowhere to go. Gave him $20 and I told him to go to my cousin's house. I should have just let him stay there. Who was he hurting? Too many times we say that we do what's right, but do we really do what's right? Too many times we tell people that we're going to pray for them, but never do. Too many times we want a different outcome, but we do the same thing every day. Too many times. We all just waiting to catch a break, to be honest with you. Either in life, in a job, with a police officer giving you a ticket. We're just all trying to catch that break. And some people get more help than others. But it's us bottom feeders that make the world go around, right? No amount of therapy can help me, believe me. And I especially don't like going to a therapist that, I guess I do judge a lot. And I try not to. I try to realize that every family has issues. Everybody is not perfect. I have not met a perfect person. Never. It drives me crazy. And I fear for my kids. I fear what this is doing to their brain, what this is doing to their relationship with women, their everything. And you know everything's your parents' fault, right? If you didn't know, now you know. I just don't want this to be my fault. I don't want them to have issues in life over something that I couldn't control. I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with them still being in foster care. And it hurts. I look outside and I hear people fucking screaming at their kids, or the way little girls twerk and shit nowadays. I'm like, what the fuck? That's like kiddie porn. And you're laughing at it. I guess I do have a fucked up perspective, but if you think that everybody's out to fuck you, then there's no surprise when they do. See, My whole thing was I believed in a system that was broken. I believed the social workers, I believed the lawyers when they told me that they were going to give me back my kids. I believed them because I did everything they asked me to do. But sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know. And I'm sorry, my friend, but I don't know anybody worth in power. I don't. I know if I would have put my mind to it, I would have achieved great things in this life. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I wanted a family. I wanted a family before I realized the struggle. I wanted a family before I chose a man or before he chose me. I mean, I always wanted a family and I wanted it right then and there. And I think that's where I fucked up at. I should have been secure with my future. But at that time, I had a funny way of thinking that, God will make all of this work. God will put my broken pieces back together. Life came out crazy. It really did. It breaks my heart that we're still continuously living this way.